I'm first of all sorry for being late. I was just trying the wrong Zoom link, so it's my fault.
My fault.
Also, as you can see, I'm unshaven because I've spent most of Sunday trying to organize remdesivir and oxygen supplies for people. And the sad truth is that citizens are just are left there. There is no scenery. I don't guide people in a crisis. We have too much government and too little governance. So it's a tough moment. Lots of people have suffered across segments of society, across cities of India, and I'm sure in Pakistan as well. In a strange way, I think COVID unites us because boundaries are melting. And I'm glad to see that so many people in both countries are reaching out to each other in their own small way or big way. And while sport has its place, obviously, in life, and I do hope that sports too can melt boundaries. At the moment, I think all attention will have to be focused on this health emergency. I mean, it's scandalous, the manner in which people are being left to fend for themselves, struggling to find out where they can get an oxygen bed, where they can get remdesivir. We were just not prepared for this second wave, and that's the sad part of what's happened. So without the usual political blame game, I just think there's been a sudden collapse of the state, and that's the sad part of what we are seeing. And I'm sure that's true of many nations, not just India, but because of our sheer size, we just are finding that the numbers are just climbing up all the time. So, I mean, I can only pray for better times, and I hope that all of us will join in prayer to see what in the hope that happier times are around the corner. So that's all one can really do, Beena, at a time like this. I really feel that this is a crisis of a kind that we've not seen in decades, and it could get worse, sadly.
Always reminded of a line by in King Lear. Thank you, Sayyidapa, for being there. Dr. Sayyida, me just leaving, so thank you. I'm always reminded of a line by in King Lear saying, never say this is the worst as long as you can say this is the worst. So हम लोग देखते हैं कि ज़माना कितना ख़राब है, and we say that things are so bad, how much worse can they get, how much more will we have to suffer? But it's like as in King Lear, he said, never say this is the worst as long as you can say this is the worst. And at the same time, never lose hope. We have to still keep on keeping on. We have to keep sharing. ये भी कहते हैं, when you share the grief, गम बांटने से आधा हो जाता है, और खुशियां बांटने से दुबाला हो जाती हैं. So when you share grief, it lightens, and when you share happiness, it doubles. So that's all we can do. Ji, bilkul. You missed just now. I'm sorry, my fault again that I sent the wrong link in the email. In the Eventbrite, it was correct, but in the emails, मैंने गलत भेज दिया था. You missed. We Lal ka, we had that Gham Na Kar Faiz Saab ka, that we just had that poem in their song. So it's on Facebook. The video is there. We are recording it as well.
Beena, was one thing I just want to say, Rajdeep Saab, because he missed us, and as you said कि भाई हम इस बुरे वक्त में एक साथ हुए हैं, वाकई ये है, मगर जैसे सबने कहा कि चलें एक साथ तो हुए हैं. अब आपने देखा कि इमरान खान और हमारी तरफ से भी ये चीज़ें पेंडेमिक के सिलसिले में ऑफर तो आ रही है कि हम सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, तो इट्स ए गुड थिंग एनी हाउ, मगर टाइमिंग इज बैड, क्योंकि इस मौके पे हम कर रहे हैं, मगर एनी हाउ अगर कर रहे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं जाके अच्छे वक्तों में भी हम डेफिनेटली वी विल हेल्प ईच अदर, और दैट्स वी need to be done quickly.
I think I agree, and as Norina said earlier, कि exactly यही वाली बात कि हम लोग अच्छे वक्तों में भी हमेशा साथ आना चाहिए. So I don't know, Nudrat and Sameer, did you want to say something? I'm just going along with our original panel thing, and if not, then we have Afia and Sharda Ugra and Zainab Abbas and Nazneen Firdausi from Bangladesh. And I'm very sorry again for the mix up in links. Zainab was trying to join and not being able to, but I don't know if she's here, and she is here. Thank you, Zainab.
Before I leave, Beena, I just want to say one thing. Jalaluddin Saab spoke about, Pakistan's offer for help. A few years ago, I know a young girl who had a hole in her heart, and she desperately needed medical help. And it was a doctor from Chennai who came to her rescue first through telemedicine and eventually got the family a visa and saved the girl's life. And I hope that one of the things we learn through this pandemic is medical tourism and the fact that, health must melt boundaries. Why is it that the best health facilities in India cannot share some of their expertise with friends in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and vice versa? I really find it, unfortunate that we are unable at times to share knowledge and expertise in this age of technology. So I hope and pray that maybe, the lessons of this one of the lessons will be that there are certain areas of society where all we can do is partner each other. So let's hope that South Asia idea, at least for public health, we invest far too little in all our countries in public health. Maybe this pandemic will force all of us to invest more and partner with each other more often than we do at the moment.
Rajdeep, this story you just shared about the girl with the hole in her heart. So there are actually many such stories of children. No, this was an actual campaign that Rotary International on both sides in India and Pakistan partnered with Aman Ki Asha, which had this campaign, and we had this campaign called Heart to Heart, and in Heart to Heart we have so many stories in the Heart to Heart tab of hang on, I've lost the heart. In Heart to Heart of children who had the sharing each other's stories. And this was a story not about a heart ailment, but another one. She had another major difference, and she was with the doctors, the way they looked after her. And we have liver transplants, and it was just so many, and we featured a lot of these stories. Kiran Sumro, who unfortunately passed away some years later, but she couldn't have the transplant heart thing. This is Neetu, who had tried to get her to save her life, to save Kiran's life. And Kiran was 16 when the congenital heart defect was discovered, and it was inoperable by that time. So, but she lived for another few years, and she had, went to Bangalore, went to India, and people, the kind of love they got. And if you remember the story of Noor, the little girl, remember who opened up the when there was no, after Kargil war, koi baatcheet nahi ho rahi thi, to wo Noor Fatma, the baby with the hole in her heart, they opened the flights, the borders to let her go. And usse puri India, Pakistan ikhatte aa gaye the. Geeta, the girl with the who was unable to speak, who was found in Pakistan, the Idi Foundation helped to get back to India. Abhi bhi the Idi Foundation has offered. पहल उन्होंने की थी कि हम ये करेंगे, फिर गवर्नमेंट ने कहा कि हम भी करते हैं. They did that. And just to add that the Rotary in because we cannot exchange money on each other's borders, wo bhi nahi allowed hai. So the Rotary people in Pakistan sent money to help Indian children, to help the Indian doctors and with medical expenses for the Indian children via Rotary in Chicago, because hum aapas mein we can't do it. Incredible stories ki jo hum log बॉर्डर पे हम लोग जो चीजें क्रॉस कर सकते हैं वो वाया दुबई जा रही हैं, वाया स्कॉटलैंड जा रही हैं, वाया अमेरिका जा रही हैं. So this is something that's an ongoing thing, and it's just thank you for bringing that up, because वो हमारे इस discussion के एजेंडा पर तो था ही नहीं about this medical thing that you're saying, but it's all connected. हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले जो शेयर किया था साउथ एशिया का मैप when Kanak was speaking, this beautiful interconnected image that the designer had made. So it's all interconnected, and it is, we are all in it together. We cannot choose our neighbors, and we cannot choose our, that is the one thing we cannot choose, and we cannot choose whether we live or die either. We have to,